You're the average of the 5 people you hang out with the most. No truer words have ever been said. Let me tell you something about me in the past. In the past, Jibreal used to hang out with people who were just fun to hang out with in that moment. These were not the people who had lofty goals or ambitions. These were just guys who, were just looking for instant pleasure and did not mind spending hours upon hours in search for it. For example, we had these shisha lounges in the past. Majority of my friends were regular customers to these shisha lounges. Or I was just hanging out with a bunch of dudes who were just too busy pursuing girls. Their lives literally revolved around trying to get women. Most people that I hung out with in the past did not have some sort of grand plan or some desire to be exceptional. They were just people who were content with being mediocre and living an average life, as long as they got their daily dose of instant gratification. What I had realized over time was that my worldview too was being shaped by the company that I kept around me. The destructive activities that they all enjoyed soon became the destructive activities that I enjoyed. Think about most smokers, for example. The reason that most of these individuals started smoking was because one fine day, one so-called friend offered them a cigarette and bam, before you know it, they got hooked. When I was surrounded by these individuals who just did not have a greater purpose and were just not into self-improvement, I realized that I too started cutting corners. It's hard to stay on the grind when all those around you are sedated by instant gratification. The teenage me always made plans about how I'm going to self-improve on the weekends, perhaps train or study longer. But it's hard to do so when the closest people around you are just chilling and having a hell of a time making your mom jokes. So this is one major reason as to why you should be extremely careful who you give your time and attention to. Because when you give your time or energy to people who are all about living in the moment, you too become someone who desires to merely live in the moment and have no long-term goals. You lose your desire to separate yourself from the crowd. You lose your desire to conquer the world. Another reason why you shouldn't hang out with bottom dwellers is that they put a glass ceiling over your head. Think about this. There are 2 individuals. Person 1 is surrounded by people who have never done anything meaningful in their lives. They all were just 9-to-5 employees who looked forward to waste away their weekends and then repeat the cycle. Then there is the second individual who's just surrounded by successful entrepreneurs and Olympians. He rubs shoulders with individuals who have great work ethic and individuals who delay gratification and have achieved success in their respective domains. Now think about the psychology of these individuals. What would be the goals of individual A? This person has never sampled someone who has done anything magnificent. To this person, becoming a millionaire or a star athlete is something unfathomable. This person has a glass ceiling over his head. He subconsciously has limited expectations of himself. Now think about the psychology of someone who rubs shoulders with exceptional individuals all his life. He has seen people attain massive success. To him, attaining this is not a miracle, but it's rather something that he aspires to do. His goals are much more lofty because he has seen things being accomplished by other individuals. Let me give you another example of this phenomena. The first time someone ran a sub 4-minute mile was in 1954. No one had ever ran a sub 4-minute mile before that. However, just 2 years later, in 1956, 16 people ran a sub 4-minute mile. It's almost as if once you know that something is possible, you become far more likely to achieve it. This is why you absolutely must surround yourself with winners in order to positively impact your subconscious belief systems. If you hang out with losers, you will more than likely become one. One other benefit of hanging out or befriending someone who's on the similar path as you is the synergy. The combined power of people when they are working together is greater than the total power achieved by each working separately. And the reason why this is true is because you are going to have low days during your self-improvement journey. Days when you just want to quit and just pursue something that offers instant gratification. However, having someone around you to remind you as to why you started this journey could be excellent to rejuvenate you. And this allows the 2 of you to carry each other through difficult times. Additionally, suffering is far easier to bear when you're suffering as a unit, as opposed to suffering alone as an individual. But suffering is almost impossible to bear when you're suffering and you see your friend just chilling or partying or partaking in any further form of instant gratification. Picking a friend is far more difficult than picking an enemy. For when you interact with an enemy, you have your guard up. However, when you interact with a friend, your guard is down and you're not even aware of how you're being changed subconsciously. There you have it, folks. These were my reasons as to why you need to cut off certain people from your life. If you enjoyed this video, make sure you hit that like button. And if you're interested in more content that revolves around self-improvement and productivity, then do subscribe to the channel. Until next time, keep the ball rolling, keep self-improving.